Okay, I believe we are recording. We are live. So thank you everyone for attending our fourth Pig CEO call. This is our strong coffee call here, which we've got our CEO Adam VonRothfelder on. Couple things here for those who are live, which there's more than a dozen of us. If you have questions, if you could please text me, so when we're in the Q&A portion, we can speed things up and make sure that we're not asking the same things and we're not being repetitive. A reminder to all who are listening, live or not, that we will next week have the fifth CEO call with me and the Pig board members, so we can share kind of what we've done with Pig, where we're at and where we're headed. So I'm excited about that too. But I'm mostly excited about this company. This company out of our Pig portfolio, which I believe in all the companies, primarily because I believe in all the leadership, um, is one of my favorites simply because it is, for a couple of reasons. One, it's the fastest growing company in our portfolio. For those who were able to attend the CrossFit Games in Dallas, if there were 50 vendors, there was 10 to 1. There were more people in the strong coffee section than anywhere else. And we're talking with Jocko right next to us, and some other major brands, and the lines were out the door for coffee. There's a buzz and an excitement around coffee. It's super exciting. I'm drinking coffee right now for my second coffee of the day. I do the red latte or the cinnamon in the morning, hot, and then cold. I do it in the afternoon. And I'm traveling tomorrow to San Diego, so I take this with me so I can get my caffeine. So I'm not plugging just to plug. I truly, genuinely believe in this company, and it starts with Adam, and I think it's a great company. It's one of our only companies, followed a close second with Golden Eagle, where we've built our own Pig army that is helping push the product, and it's exciting to do so. But again, I think people love the product first. Everyone wants to know where we're at. I think the rise this year has been meteoric. Adam will talk about that. When you have meteoric rise, you're going to have some challenges. I'm sure Adam's going to talk about that as well. But the outlook to this company and to your investment, I believe, is super strong. Again, as everyone knows, I'm invested in this company as well, and I'm excited to be so. So, as a consumer, I love this company. As a friend to Adam and Caleb, which were introduced to me through our board member James, I'm a fan and a friend, and as an investor, I'm eagerly anticipating the continued growth, so one day we can all get a good return. So with that, I will be quiet. I will mute myself. Adam, feel free to take over. Like all the other CEO calls, I don't think any of these are scripted. You and I have not had a conversation prior to this about anything. This is just you doing your thing, like we did at the Pig event, and the floor is yours. So go ahead, Adam.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dan, and thank you guys, everybody, for being a part of Strong Coffee, being on this call. That means a lot. It's like it's easy to just pass over money, but it's another to continue to want to show up and understand what's going on. And that holds me accountable, which is great because I've really been the only one holding myself accountable up to this point. That being said, that accountability has driven us, to where we are. I want to talk about, I'll kind of go over, the highs thus far. We'll talk about those. And then we'll kind of talk about, some of the issues that we're currently having and how we're solved them. And just kind of go from there. So the highs, I think since coming in, if you came in, from the beginning, you have seen the company go almost up 300% in revenue. So our last 30-day revenue is like over $425,000 in revenue. That's with even like the out of stock issues that we had because we had a timely launch of the Cinnamon Toast Latte, which did extremely well, along with the CrossFit Games, which did exceptionally well. We still had a great last 30 days. That being said, the CrossFit Games was insane. 407 gallons of coffee a day, a 20-person staff, 18 of them volunteers, just diehard loyal fans. And that's a brand that we're building that does this, that brings 18 like working professional adults, not kids, like 30-year-olds, adults that have jobs that took 4 or 5 days out of their life to come and serve coffee. And we got smashing reviews. And we did an incredible job of obtaining a lot of new clients, customers. We had multiple ESPN commercial spots, and even amidst the tragedy, we came through and shined as a company that elevated the experience of the CrossFit Games, and that has been nothing, has been completely seen by not just the community, but even CrossFit, the organization, who already wants us to come back next year and do something similar.
For
Right.
those who don't know, can you share the tragedy you're talking about? Since many people probably don't know.
I'm sorry, repeat that, Dan.
Many people may not know about the tragedy you're talking about.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah. So the CrossFit Games, an athlete passed away in the first event of the day. Of the whole event. So somebody drowned. Lazar Dukic was a CrossFit World competitor from somewhere in Europe, and he drowned in the local lake during the first competition, which really kind of like the games was almost canceled. We were prepared for either way, but either way we made the best of it and ultimately like really shined in a moment where people need an elevation of energy. And it's just kind of to say like people are, we sold out all of our apparel. It's like we sold out, so many on so many levels, just coffee every day, basically maxing out our capacity. And next year they want us to go even bigger. So that was a really great high. That has also led to the World Pickleball Championships that's taking place in Dallas, November 4th through the 9th. They have asked us to be the official coffee. We have negotiated an amazing deal that is completely revenue based. This one even more advantageous to us than the CrossFit one, which was really a break even kind of deal. And this is exposing us to a whole new vertical, or lateral pivot of like fitness, as there's a great intersection of pickleball and fitness, and a wider spread of age with people that have greater disposable income. So just giving us a much broader reach. There's going to be 60,000 people there that we're going to be serving coffee to over the course of 4 or 5 days as the official coffee of the Pickleball World Championships. So pretty awesome. And we have other events going on. We have, a lot of incredible things. Our ads are performing so well that, and our products performing so well that we have had sellouts. And amidst those sellouts, there were other issues that, I navigated, very quickly. And one of them was a coffee issue. And we solved the coffee issue within about a week. And then this other issue came into play right when we were about to go completely live with inventory. So now we're getting into the, kind of the lows of what's going on with manufacturing and everything. So through the process, we checked all the acidity levels of the new coffee. We, created side-by-side comparisons of the coffee just to taste the coffee profiles of the new Mexican organic coffee. Everything checked out. It looked all good. While at the same time, we also changed the collagen source, but we never for a million years would have thought this would have happened. So while we were about to catch up on inventory, because we have about 6,000 bags of Morning Fix laying around, I found out that something was breaking the emulsion in the mix, no longer making it creamy and staying creamy and consistent for hours. I mean, days. Like strong coffee holds. Like that's the thing. It's like the magic of it. And this collagen had some sunflower lecithin in it, and our coconut oil MCT has sunflower lecithin and sodium caseinate, and the sunflower lecithins broke the other sunflower lecithin's emulsion, separating the fats. So this created a halt in production because I could not make more product until we solved this formula problem, which we have now solved. That being said, in the last 4 weeks, 4 weeks ago, I brought on a 20-year veteran in manufacturing, product development, procurement, source logistics, and lab science, who's the one that figured this problem out. The manufacturer, when they brought the new collagen in, should have tested it, but they rushed it because we were trying to rush that. That being said, this has created a great opportunity for us to create a pivot product that we've been wanting to create. So we're going to take these units of product that we can't sell of latte, and we're going to remix them into a frap whey. So we're going to turn this 15-gram collagen latte, we're going to add 15 grams of whey protein, balance out the flavors and the sweetness, add probiotics and prebiotics, and make a more robust protein drink that we're going to call the frap whey, right? So it's a frappe, but with more protein, with a lot of protein. So it's going to allow us to pivot into that. We have such a great shelf life on that product, so none of it's going to get wasted. It's all just going to get recycled. I've done this before. We have solved the problem, and we are mixing product this week. We will be back in stock next week with all morning fix and hazelnut, and that will be the last time we go out of stock. We are in consistent communication with Sprouts. They are just as excited, even though it's, going to be late. They're just like, whatever. Like, let us know when it's ready to be picked up. We'll pick it up. There's no late fees. This isn't Blockbuster. We're just going to be, a little late on the shelf. That being said, we have recovery campaigns set in place. We have set up a new subscription software that is more robust, that's going to allow us to build our subscription even on a greater base. We've had next to no subscription loss over any of these issues, like next to none, right? So people just want the product. We recently did a social media post that said, we have this product that's not perfect. So if you want to buy it, but it's not perfect, we'll send you a link. A couple hundred people wanted that product, right? People just trust us, and that's what people tell us, and that's what we're going off of. When we recover fully, we'll be back to 400,000 and climbing, and we have a lot of social influencers and some big plans on the horizon, including the Sprouts launch. And in a couple of days, I should be having a food trailer be dropped off up front. I got a great deal, $10,000 for a fully legal, very nice food trailer, and we're turning it into a coffee food trailer. And we have an intern moving from California that's going to operate the trailer at the #1 CrossFit gym in downtown Austin in the parking lot. And he is going to be our head of social media. He did a great job of heading content at the CrossFit Games. He has done multiple events for us. He's a young kid, Caleb. Shout out to Caleb Fossum for, finding him and bringing him on and figuring out a place where he fits. And Caleb did an incredible job of stepping up at the CrossFit Games. And yeah, I mean, all good things. It's like I've waited months to buy, a pair of shoes, and it's like they sell out and it's like, it's like I just wait months again, and I think that we've built a brand that is allowing people that they'll wait. And we're gonna get it right, and we're gonna get it out next week, and we'll be flying and styling real soon.
Awesome. Great. Great stuff. Great update. Appreciate that. It's funny. Six of the questions I got, you answered them as you were talking. So we got a few others. I do want to say, Adam, you and I share the same lawyer, and although she hasn't warned us, we should stay away from talking about value of the company or anything. But on this call, as it's recorded. So, but we are in between raises. We closed the first one. Second one is active, at least through Pig.
Yes.
And I'm very confident, without using specific numbers, that even with the second raise, and of course it'll be bigger with the first, we're looking at minimum 10, could be 20, could be 30x returns when Adam makes the decision to pull the trigger and sell. So this is still a tremendous opportunity. I didn't know about the pickleball stuff. It's in Dallas, so I'll be there. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
you
it really, oh, geez. It really gives us a whole new sector. We've really been focused on CrossFit for years and the overall, like that very narrow fitness path. But pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the world, and being able to be the official of it, so early on, I think is just going to be very big for us, with a lot of new growth. So.
Very cool. All right, you answered the question that next to none subscribers lost. How about subscribers gained from the CrossFit Games? Have you been able to track that yet?
I wouldn't say that that would be like some number that I'd be like concerned about at this time because we haven't been focused on it. We turned certain email sequences off because we know psychologically they bother people if they get an email like that to subscribe and then they go to our site and something's sold out. So we haven't been really pushing people into the funnel. It would be interesting to look at Black. I haven't looked at that, but we recently, because we're out of the latte, have shifted all of our focus to Black, and our ads are performing, over a 2.38 was the last update I got, at a little over 1,000 a day that we're spending. And that's on new customer acquisitions. And it's like we're break even to profitable on the first run there. And Black has the highest potential for rebuy. So it's like this could be just like an almost like this incredible forced study of what happens if we use Black as like the barrier of entry, because its rebuy rate is about 10% higher than any other product in the lineup.
Awesome. All right. You mentioned Sprouts was delayed. Do you have an ETA?
October 3rd.
And that's national.
So it
That's
was supposed
national.
to be it was supposed to be in the stores and national by October 4th. We're going to be trying to get it picked up someday between September 30th and October 3rd.
Awesome. Okay. What is the ETA on product recovery for those delays you're going through right now?
We should be caught up by next week. By Friday, it looks like we should have enough lattes between Morning Fix and Hazelnut and Daybreaker that we have on reserve, and the Black to fill any past orders. Keep them both on. We're not going to turn the engines on in the sense of running ads on them at that exact moment. As of the 30th, which is why we're going to have, product being picked up by Sprouts somewhere around the 30th or the 3rd, we will have 7,500 units of each product. So we're, very soon out to be just fully flushed and operational. And at that point, we'll just stay, ahead of, this new velocity that we achieved in less than 24 hours.
Awesome. I believe, and I should know this, but it's not in front of me, that Pig money in bank in your hands is over $500,000, with another couple hundred and commitment dollars. What do you do with the money you get from Pig?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of it, I mean, has not been dispensed. I mean, maybe 90% of it has not really been dispensed. We went into the games pretty quickly after closing that round. We went into the games. We, put money into marketing, building out the booth, things like that, all marketing expenses and inventory. Our payroll is pretty lean, right? Like it's under, $30,000 a month for a whole team, 35,000 a month for a whole team that is operating a company that's doing, almost a half a million a month with the National Sprouts account. So we are just ready for war when it comes to like cash supply, when it comes to this idea of this, Sprouts launch, and just, being able to get ahead of the lifetime value of a customer. A lot of people don't understand that you pay for a certain amount of money for a customer online, and that's called a CAC, a customer acquisition cost. And then you have like your average order value, right? And then you have your 90-day lifetime value, and then you have, your lifetime value, right? Well, generally speaking, people don't recover their investment until the second purchase. They're usually negative. We're sitting in a positive sense to break even in the first interaction. And within 90 days, they buy two more times at the same AOV. So the average order value. So we're sitting in a strong place to be able to grow, pretty quickly here with the money that we have, and just keep recycling the cash into growth.
Right on. Um, is Adam looking for ways to build in resiliency in his supply chain through either option contracts with the suppliers or other mechanisms to ensure they can continue to expand while minimizing risk of deliveries?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could with like coffee. Like I have this dream about going down to Mexico and then going to the plant that like buys all that freeze-dried coffee and all that coffee and freeze dries it and spray dries it and be like, I want you to send me personally, storage units at X price. And they're like, yes. And we all have like polyester shirts on. I feel that that's like, like so I mean, yes, there are certain things, coffee is honestly kind of like really ever been the only problem. Everything else is pretty easy to get, right? Within days of ordering it. It's coffee that can be the issue at times. But that being said, in 5 years, in just around 5 years, this has never happened before. So, now we know. I mean, I fixed the problem in a week, but then the bigger problem ended up being the collagen being different. It's just like, whoo, science.
Yeah. Have you received or started receiving any interest in acquisitions since the CrossFit Games?
Yeah, for sure. Literally while I was at the games, I met with a guy named Rob. We'll leave it at no last name, but this guy was part of like the original like the acquisition of CrossFit from Glass to the guy who bought it, that Eric Ritz, whatever his name was, and they have sent me a couple emails, asking me if I'm, interested in selling it, or bringing on more money, as they have people that, would be pretty interested. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of people that generally reach out at this stage are trying to buy you for, a little not at the right valuation because they think if you're going to sell at this point, you're distressed, right? So the goal here is to get the revenue to, that certain point where we're exiting at north of 100 million.
Got it. Okay.
So
So,
anything else just doesn't even make sense to answer. Otherwise, we get a lot of emails about mergers and acquisitions and roll-ups, but like I would say, like I don't take half of them serious.
right. All right. I can see that some are still texting, but somewhat in summary, record numbers, record growth, meteoric rise, some challenges that you've figured out, new hires, both in Dallas and at the plant, to mitigate some of the issues. Um, Cash in bank. You're not financially distressed.
Not at all.
It's available for use if and when needed. Sprouts is still happening. Probably it looks like less than a month from now, and then now a national or world champion pickleball tournament in Dallas coming up. So it sounds like you know it's peaked. It dropped a little bit simply because of the challenges you couldn't foresee. I think the Huberman podcast in relation with you rolling out Sprouts at the same time as you're trying to execute a CrossFit Games with, of course, some challenges at the plant. I think it was just a perfect storm for some delays, but looks like we've gotten out of that, right? Is that all a fair summary?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right. What else? What future outlook do you have on Strong Coffee?
Oh man, I mean, we have this other raise going. That's going to be great for taking on Sprouts in the way that we want to. And like the name of the game there is to open up distribution at that point. We have a 22 grocery store in Utah called Harmon's that is bringing us on. So I see a lot of opportunity for wholesale and really focusing on the independents so that we can kind of create the, I don't want to call it easy money, but the low string, no strings attached kind of like retail where we're not going through distributors and losing, a lot of margin. So just higher margin opportunities and wholesale with independents. And to be honest with you, seeing a lot of social growth. I think that us bringing on a social media content creator is going to help us double, triple, quadruple our social media very quickly, allowing us to have far greater reach with our ads and be able to even further reduce customer acquisition costs and increase, the lifetime value in the community of the brand.
Do you have any intention of going beyond coffee into a tea or energy drink that also has protein, MCTs, etc.?
We have a hydration tea that's ready. I just want to drop it at the right time. We're going to drop it during the winter because, technically winter is when people are the most dehydrated. And we made a hydration drink that can be made hot or cold, and it's with rooibos tea and some other really great ingredients, plus your electrolytes and minerals.
Is that part of the Strong Coffee family?
It's just the instant tea plus hydration is what we're calling it.
Awesome. And you're still on Amazon, right?
Still on Amazon, just sold out. We still have our gummies up there. I'm about to self-publish a cookbook on breakfast items, all that are macro, organized and like gluten-free, like no sugar added recipes, as a way just to like capture any of the traffic that's coming through, and then also use the cookbook as a lead magnet on social media so that we can get more people's emails. And because really that's the name of the game. Basically, I spent like 6 hours a day on AI making a cookbook. So we get that out, and that'll be a great digital tool that we can sell on Amazon and give away on social media in the form of a PDF in exchange for an email.
If the company continues to grow at a couple 100%, or like you mentioned, maybe 400,000 a month in revenue goes to 6 or 7, are you also going to incrementally grow your staff and your team to keep up with it?
Yeah, for sure. We've been looking for the right, COO type individual. It's a really, I think that it's a really delicate piece to bring on. So our first hire is this social media person, which will free up Caleb a lot on his day to day with social media, also allowing far greater, faster growth because it'll be that sole person's, thing. And Caleb will be able to focus more on establishing and curating influencer relationships and event organization and coordination, right? So those things will excel. This is like, it was like you said, a perfect storm. So having the issues we've had with manufacturing and this and that has never been an issue. That being said, we hired this company called Monocle to basically build out the AI in our back end of Shopify to help us track velocity and even basically cue us for when they think we should order more inventory based off of growth. And they're reading, it's reading like lifetime value, like, hey, every 30 days, somebody comes back and they spend $67 for this many, times. And then this is the drop off. And then, so it knows that because it's reading all the Shopify data. So we're taking a lot of steps to try to limit our early need for bringing on, that type of person, but, getting to the point where we just want to make sure that we're putting as much money into our marketing and growth as possible. While we also have like interviews with 3 other manufacturers to make sure that we have more than just one so that we can, outsource even more manufacturing if, say, the one that we're currently with can't keep up at scale at some point, right? So we have those types of things already being pre-established. And that's why we brought on that person, Chase, who lives in Utah, who's a 20-year veteran. So we have taken certain steps to already bring on people to mitigate these issues in the future.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned Caleb a few times. Caleb has been extremely instrumental here with our team here at Pig because every time we get a new investor on the coffee side, Caleb sends an investor gift package. And I saw Caleb in person, hard at work at the Dallas CrossFit Games. He did an absolute tremendous job. So shout out to you, Caleb. You're doing a great job.
So yes, indeed. Indeed.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Right on. All right. Well, listen, most of these questions were already asked and now have been answered. Again, I stand by this product. I love it. I'm up to 2 coffees a day. My wife is doing more than she should because this isn't cheap. but we love the coffee in our family. And I've still yet to meet someone who just didn't like the coffee. So it's a great product. I think you've overcome a lot of these challenges, hurdles that, as you know, my take on it, you should be unapologetic for success. You're doing so good. It's almost like having too many people at a concert. Sometimes people have to wait outside to get to hear what they want to hear. So, but it looks like you're navigating around it. I think it's a great job. I appreciate people asking questions. We still have a few more coming in. Any as I read some of these last couple, anybody else have any questions or comments while we're live?
Yeah, I've got some. I got some comments, and it's really just a shout out to you, Adam and Caleb, for building not only the company that you've built, but the culture that you've built. But the foundation of all that's the product. I mean, it is a phenomenal product. I use it just like Dan twice a day. I've been able to substitute it for protein shakes. It's just a very clean burning, sustained energy and focus that I get from it, and I get angry when I run out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to you guys. You're doing great, and I'm excited as an investor, but also as a consumer.
Well, what Nick just said, Ryan mentioned, I think early before we recorded, but Ryan did text me yesterday and said he ran out of coffee and asked if I had some few extra bags. I like to carry like 20 to 30 at a time. It's like I am with everything. I've got more cigars than I can ever smoke and more vodka than I can ever drink, but I feel weird when my levels run low. So Ryan did text me yesterday, asked if I had some extra coffee for him because, I mean, once you like the product, you're hooked. And to what Nick said, for some of us who work out maybe more regularly than others, and some of us are extreme athletes, I think, the fact that you have protein, you have collagen, which is great for the joints, which I would take separately, and it's expensive. I no longer take a pre-workout because I don't need to. I've got the caffeine, and I used to actually take a the neurofactors. The Joe Rogan has a thing, Alpha Brain, made by On It, and I don't need to take that anymore, and that's not cheap either. I mean, all those things are 30, 40, 50 bucks, and it's all in
Yeah.
there. And shout out to the liver company as well, because they've got the neurofactors as well, so now I'm doubling up a day. But it's again, the product is healthy, it tastes great. I'm super enthused as an investor. I love seeing what you guys are doing and your growth, and I couldn't be happier. So unless anybody has anything else, I'm going to shut up and let you say the final words, Adam. But before that, anyone else have any other comments? All right, Adam, you got the last word. I will put this link out on YouTube. I'll send it to the Powerhouse Investment Group's email distribution list. I hope people share it with their friends. It's a great investment if you want to invest, and it's a great product if you want to consume. And in many cases, you should do both. So go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys, everybody that's all already involved. If you're not involved, I would, I'm a fighter. The things that you got to be ready to go through as an entrepreneur and keep going is what determines the success of one. So that being said, round two, ding, ding, ding. And so it's like we're coming in hot. Revenue is, going to keep climbing, and, we're just scratching the surface. So it's just like, I'm excited for it. And I just, appreciate everybody that's excited too. So thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you spending your time here on a Thursday. Don't forget, next Friday is the Pig CEO call. Adam, Caleb, love you guys. Strong coffee. Make it
Yeah,
happen.
love you too, brother. Appreciate it. Thank
See you guys.
Love you guys. Yes, sir.
See ya.